Well, hey there, it's Merv himself with one of our baby steps videos on replacing a car battery. I'm going to show you the symptoms of a bad battery and how I installed a new one. DeMille's behind the camera. Let's get started. Alright, first a quick tour. This big boxy thing under the hood of your car here is called the battery. And what are the symptoms of a bad battery? Maybe your car is hard to start. Maybe it won't turn over at all. Or you might notice dim lighting. Well, when I change out a car battery, here's what I keep in mind. First, this is a positive terminal. It's got a big plus sign on it, and it's red. Danger. Your negative terminal is the one that gets removed first. It's got a minus sign on it. For those of you who skipped math class, you might want to go back for a little review over the positive and negative numbers. Another way to look at it is like flipping on a light switch. Positive means on, negative means off. So when I'm taking the battery off, the first thing I touch is the negative off and remove it. When I'm putting the battery on, the first thing I put on is the positive. You see how that works? And if you ever find yourself replacing your car battery and you wonder what kind to buy, you might be confused between the cold cranking amps and all the variables you need to keep in mind to buy the right one. Quite honestly, I would just call Walmart or your local place that sells car batteries. Tell them the make and model of your car. They'll advise you exactly what you need for your situation. How's that for an easy shortcut? So right now we're taking the battery off, and I'm first going to take off the negative connection. But keep in mind, you never want to bridge the gap between these two terminals with your head, a favorite appendage, or a shiny metal object like, say, a long wrench. Which is why I use a little short-handled tool like this one. Bridging the gap would be completing the circuit. Not good. Danger. And to show you what happens, I've asked Helen to bring the kit out a little bit later. So the negative, minus, off, is coming off. Oh my God. Oh, help me. I'm just kidding. And I like to put it in a place where it's not making contact with anything. And if I was going to work on the radio or whatever, that's all I would do to disconnect the power. But I'm replacing this whole battery with a new one, so now that it's safe, I make contact with the positive terminal, which typically has a lot of gunk on it. That can always be removed with a wire brush or one of these handy terminal cleaning gadgets. We got a link in our description if you need it. And cleaning the inside of the connector is a good idea too. Get yourself a little wire brush to fish down inside there. So I use little shorty here, 10 millimeter, which is a common size for lots of car repair purposes. And of course, on behalf of the legal department, I would just say I'm wearing 6 pair of gloves, 14 pair of safety goggles, and a flesh-colored full Kevlar bodysuit just in case battery acid comes shooting out like a geyser all over me. Nope, these are not my bare arms. Flesh-colored Kevlar. And I give her a little tap with my 16-ounce hammer to loosen her up, which, by the way, folks, is approximately half the size of a 32-ounce hammer. Be sure to click up here and watch my review about proper tools. And then I take off the lockdown brace, which keeps it from bouncing around while you're driving. Some batteries, instead of this arm, might have wedges down on the platform in here. This one has a top brace, that's all. Okay, it's out. Now, you hear me straining? This is one of them things I'm talking about. This is one of the safety tips you need to keep in mind. Batteries are heavy. They weigh, I'm not exaggerating, they weigh about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. And I'm going to show you what it looks like if you was to drop this on your foot. DeMille, get over here for a second. Alright, DeMille's being a baby, insisted on going to the emergency room, so I'm gonna have to finish up this video on my own now. What a selfish kid. By the way, if any of you fancy pants has got a car with a supercomputer that needs to be kept running, like, say, a Prius or whatever, that's what DeMille has, well, you might want to keep a trickle charger on your rear terminals, because you don't want to wipe out the whole memory of something like a UNIVAC 5000 or whatever kind of computers are in them things. This here video don't deal with that, but we'll probably be doing a future one on it. A little more complicated, but it's pretty easy from here. We start by connecting the plus sign, the positive side, on. Of course, the tie-down arm needs to be put in place. Basically just reverse the process. And of course, you reconnect the negative terminal. And that's it. Old battery out. New battery in. I hope this helps you. This is Merv, and I'll see you next time.
And be sure to check out our other videos, made especially for you, with just a dash of cayenne pepper. So good. Subscribe and be sure to click on that bell icon to get important updates.